The reason for doing that is because you want to be able to merge two partial boxes of the same type into one larger box. And so at the end of the temp and merging loop cycle, what you'll get are more fuller and more complete shulker boxes that you can put into your bulk systems. The issue with this, however, is that in Minecraft, storing things temporarily and then being able to call it back programmatically is very, very hard. And the reason why it's very, very hard is because uh, there's no way for you to like store things in Minecraft and then also call them without having to like check many different containers or check many different slots in the container. So there have been lots of different approaches to temp that like use different combinations of these mechanisms of searching many different containers or searching many different slots in a container. But they all have their trade-offs. Like the most important one is that uh, when you're thinking about designing a temp, you have to consider how many item types that you want the temp to have. Because the more item types you have, the more storage you need to have in the temp. And the more you have to search in order to find a specific item. So there's been a lot of different kinds of uh, ideas about this. The most common one is using an encoded temp. And an encoded temp is basically an idea where you have an encoder which takes an item and converts it into redstone code. And then you can use that redstone code to address into a specific container and output the items in that container. So there could be different kinds of temps which do this. Like, for example, you can have really huge, like, dropper cage temps. If I can paste the schematic, like here, which work by inputting a code, and then they can store an item into an individual dropper, which then you can take out with the same code. Or they could also be in the form of like a disk drive. Like so. Where you still use a code to address into a specific slot of the chest so that you can take out a specific item in the chest. So this over here is, I think it's Monica's 256 item type 1. This huge one over here is 1000 item types. But the difference is that because a disk drive has to search through each slot in a chest, you have to spend at least 8 game ticks every slot in order to find the item you're looking for. So this one can take several hundred game ticks, whereas this huge temp over here is like only like 40 or 70 game ticks in total from when you press the button to getting whatever you want. So that's the big difference, and there's a huge trade-off, which is this kind of temp is really large and like not very practical compared to some smaller design like that. Okay, any questions?
Would you say that encoded storages, I mean, like, I know there aren't actually that many that have been finished ever, but do a lot of them end up using disk drives when they have been worked on? Or is there some other solution people typically go for?
Yeah, so disk drives are the most common solution because of their small size.
Mm-hmm.
But the downside of a disk drive is that they're very slow. So Um, when you actually think about dynamic sorting, the the great bottleneck in a dynamic sorting system is actually the temp. It has always been the temp. Like ever since many, many years ago, people have always realized it's the temp that is the slowest. And so uh, you might think that's actually not that big of a deal because, you're still putting things into boxes, right? But the issue is that when you have inputs where you have lots of like items of different types that are not a full box, like it doesn't matter if you use like SVARs or like special grouping shenanigans to like match boxes more efficiently. Ultimately, they still have to go through the temp. Um, like each type will cause at least one temp call.
And so, like the reason that things like this monstrous, this very large temp on the left here exist is because for a while now people have been trying to answer the question of like how do we make temps fast so they're not the bottleneck anymore. And one such solution is to give each item its own location and then call it at a constant time.
Yes, that is correct. 1 second. Let's fix this up.
That 1000 address Temp you showed, that was designed for like older dynamic bulk concepts, correct? Originally,
What was?
the larger 1000 address Temp you showed, or maybe I'm mistaken.
No. So this larger 1001 is designed for boxes. Um, and the reason for that is because if you were to use dynamic bulk, like if you were to use a linked list, for example, you can get away with much smaller temps because you can fit boxes inside. You can fit items inside the boxes. So, um, like I can show you what I mean.
Yes, I was thinking about the older, like old dynamic bulk logic from like Mechanis days, but I might be mistaken.
I mean, I guess
Didn't
it's a really old dynamic bulk. Like this
didn't
would have
they
been
have
helpful.
massive
But...
temps or something?
Hmm?
And that as well. Didn't they need a temp or something in that one as well? Or maybe I'm mistaken again.
I'm not so sure. Let me get some headphones because I feel like I can't hear anything.
Right.
Okay. Um, so yeah, this is the 1000 non-box item temp, and it has the same like capacity in terms of item types and addresses as this big one, and it's just as fast, if not faster. And the reason why it can do that is because it can pack items into boxes. So that's what's really useful for dynamic bulk. But for actual temp purposes where you need to store boxes, you can't use this. You have to use something that can store it inside chests or droppers.
This is like mildly off topic, but I'm just curious. With this smaller 1001 where you're putting items in boxes, wouldn't that decrease the or increase the recall time for an item because you have to
Not really,
be
because
in?
the reason why is because this uses hopper carts to pull out and search through the items inside the box at
Oh,
one item every game tick. So At most, you're going to spend an additional 20 game ticks with this design because there's
Okay.
can be 20 items inside a box.
Yeah.
But it's like very quick because of the hopper carts.
Makes a lot of sense, actually. Okay.
Like 56 game ticks, if I remember correctly. About.
Probably. I can check.
It's been a while since I've read the post.
It was 55 game ticks, yeah.
One game tick off. Dang it.
Whoa. There's a
Should I
light
ask
bulb.
what's the use for an item temp?
This is
Like-
used for dynamic bulk. So, what that means is creating a bulk storage system that can automatically like change what its item types are for each slice. And the way that you would actually implement is called linked list, and I have a video on the topic. But yeah, it's kind of too complicated.
I feel like dynamic bulks are not. I don't know if they've actually really been done.
They have been built, but they haven't been good.
Okay.
Like, what's the item used for? Is that just for setting like the bar filter in the slice or something? Or
So the item itself represents what slice the item you want is supposed to be. So say if you want like cobblestone, then you'll encode the item with an encoder and use that result to pull out an item from one of the boxes here. And then that item you will re-encode again, and that will give you the slice for like whatever item you want, if that makes sense. And then you can have multiple slices because you can, after you finish that slice, you can actually take another token item from the slice, and then that will point to the next slice where you can find more of the same item.
So kind of zooming back out a bit, just kind of keeping temp in the frame. The reason that you would use the same technology for a temp and for this dynamic bulk kind of like slice tracking is because it uses the same protocol of storing a piece of information that needs to be called at some speed and then returning it again to the same location or put to a new location.
The correct term that I like to call temps, because temp storage is a little bit confusing for people, is item memory, because that's what it really is.
Mhm.
For all temps and like all kind of these kind of solutions, there's temporarily taking an item and like storing it like in memory, right? So, and you want your memory to be quite like quick. Like if you have a RAM, for example, it's random access, meaning you can take out like data from it like from anywhere at the same speed, right? So that kind of, or not exactly the same speed, but at closely like matched speeds, right? So the idea is that you want to have a really fast way of storing and retrieving items. That you're not going to store a lot of that item, but maybe one item or two items.
That makes sense.
Okay, so I'm sure everybody heard of disk drive temp. Everybody also heard of dropper temp, and I don't know if everybody heard about BPIM's temp. That's also a thing.
I can paste it.
I have it too.
we're gonna call it pattern matching, or I don't know.
I think this is it. Yeah. I have no idea if pattern matching is what people use. Like, I'm just going to call it BPIM's temp.
Yeah, people just call it BIPIM's temp because no one's really used it yet. I was just testing this last night and got it to break pretty quickly. I haven't really looked at how it works yet, though. I get roughly, but the specific wiring.
So
There's like
the idea with
20 toggles
BIPIM's
on it, though. Sorry.
the idea with BIPIM's temp is it's still a disk drive style temp where you have to search through different items inside the chest, but it's done a bit more elegantly in the sense that you can process a whole batch in one cycle. So what that means is you can put in requests for temp calls. You can put in like boxes for whether you want it to like match or not. And then after you've finished putting in your entire batch, you can then make it search through all of the chests simultaneously. And so the idea is that because you um, only search through the chest after you've already collected all of the boxes that you want to search for in the temp, you don't actually have to cycle through the temp every time you want to take out an item. You can cycle through it just once, and so that's a lot faster. But the downside of this is that it's a little bit less dense. By little, I mean like a quarter of the density, because each chest can only store half as many item types, and this is also not a one-wide tileable slice. And also, this requires ideal output for your sorting. So
There's other
you
versions that fix all those issues, so I wouldn't
but
bother mentioning
the
them.
other versions do not actually. I wouldn't recommend them because they're not actually fast for the insertions, like for the box like step. So I can pull up the actual information. Basically, the ideal splitting one is 30 game ticks per box, but the pair preserving one is 150 game ticks, plus 900 game ticks for cycling. So the pair preserving one I wouldn't recommend because it has to do a bunch of additional checks per box, and that makes it a lot slower and kind of defeats the point of using this kind of device.
It's more efficient with more boxes.
Not the pair preserving one. I think the pair preserving one is still kind of too slow, especially with the matrix temp that we'll show you later, because that can do 170 game ticks.
Well,
per
if you
box.
compare it to that, of course it will be fast, slower, but
But the ideal splitting one, I think, is very worthwhile in the sense of, I think that will probably be the fastest for like temp storage if you're using that kind of like system. Okay, any other comments or questions or?
So it sounds like just kind of like backtracking to say kind of what we've covered. We've talked about encoded temps being disk drive, and then the like single item per dropper item RAMs. Now I've also talked about BIPIM's pattern matching, which is non-encoded. And then we've also talked kind of about the other uses of temps as like actual item RAMs for memory.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. Well, I was going to get to it, but I was thinking about this kind of temp. That there are more kinds of unencoded temp storages. So, like, there's TisUs, right? Whitelister temp. Here, which is able to basically, it has like a whitelister at the top. It sends a cart through to like find what slice the item is in, and then cycles through the items in the chest to find the item that matches yours. And it's not encoded. Everything is self-contained, just like with Bipin's temp. But this is also much more dense and also quite compact, like in terms of size. And then there's also other approaches, like for example, there's 77's there's 77's variable temp, which uses a similar concept, but instead of having preset whitelister chests, this can automatically build the whitelister chests as you add items. So you don't need to set up any of the chests beforehand. You just need to put in items and it will automatically set them up for you. I think this one though has a downside that because it uses like a CUD based system. Does it use a CUD based system?
Yeah, it does.
The variable one does.
I have no idea where the
The CUDs are right here with the
Oh, here
block
it
of the
is. Yeah.
test.
So because you use a CUD based system, it can only store half as many items per chest. Because if you put more items, then it's going to clock when the hopper cart is under it. Always, even if it didn't pull an item. So that's like the downside. So in all like practical aspects, I would say something like TisU's whitelister temp is like the better option of these kinds of temps, barring of course the matrix temp that we'll show you later.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worth mentioning the variable temp that 77 made is incredibly fast. It is a lot larger as a result, but like it has speed as an advantage. I think it's like, and the other thing is like it has equal distribution at least initially, so it like will spread the items out across all the chests. Unfortunately, that does break down after you like I think complete a full pass. It's a little bit complex. So that's kind of like those are some of the benefits of it. And there's always, as Dom mentioned, the static cart, but like I think like that's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, so I mean like yeah, I don't think it's not that big of a deal. But yeah.
And there have been lots of different kinds of temp designs over time, but like you can basically know what like the compromise is, right? So it's either you have speed or you have a large size, right? Like, or you have a small size. So you can either go big and be fast, or you can be small and be very slow. Now, so you have to ask yourself, what kind of speed do I want and what kind of size do I want? And you kind of have to decide for yourself. Like, it's something that there is no real right answer to, I think. Like, because if you have like a really slow sorting system at the start, like a Sigvar, for example, then a whitelister temp is probably like sufficient, like TisU's whitelister temp. But if you have like a really fast like sorting system, then this is not going to work. Like, we tested it with a regular splitter array, and it couldn't keep up. So that was what we found out. How many slices did that have? It was like
It was eight splitters.
Yeah, 8 splitters. So 8x hopper speed splitting, it can't keep up.
And that's unfortunately the case for like most temps.
Yeah.
At least of any reasonable density.
Yeah, so even like the matrix temp can't keep up with that. The idea though is that like there's different amounts of like backlog, because if you if you use something that is like really slow as a temp, then you're going to be waiting all day. So,
Hmm.
but of course, there have been crazier attempts at temps. Like, I don't know if people have seen like the hopper speed temp that I've made a long time ago. It's actually really crazy. Down here, this was like my first encoded storage.
Hold.
But
Bro,
I think this was like
what?
had some like 850 something item types or something like
Oh
that,
my
or was it
god.
like 900? But this design is crazy because it is full hopper speed. So you can input boxes at hopper speed, and you can get dropper speed output. So like it's encoded, of course, but like it's huge, right? So
Is this like a
And that
remote
pairs
temp?
with your 8 game tick encoder here, or
yes, so there's an 8 game tick encoder here, the old design, I think, and it connects to the temp, and um, the temp will process it. I think this is an old version of my loop because the newer version got lost when Mechanist like CMP died. But like it was fully functioning. I tested it. It worked. And as you can imagine, it's incredibly fast and also very laggy.
Yeah, that's insane. This thing is huge.
To be fair, the only player interface was 2 dual bulks, so all of this could have been remote
Well,
if you
this
were.
was a long time ago. This was like 5 or 6 years ago. 6 years ago, probably. So, back then, um, I wanted to try out some really high speed stuff. And that's what I got here. This is a really absurdly high speed temp, and the wiring is atrocious, but it does work.
Is this your
But
encoder? Oh no, this is
the
both.
basic way that this temp works is when you put in the box, this computer will read out from the dropper, and it'll only output items from the dropper after you put in 2 boxes. So if you just put in 1 box, it's just going to stay there. If you put out 2 boxes, it's going to output. And of course, this is set up in such a way so that uh, like the 2 items will be sent out like to this dropper line, and they'll all already be like have like some kind of pairs, and there's like some crazy stuff going on somewhere. Anyways, um, that's like this kind of temp. I wouldn't recommend it. It's like really old, but it exists to show that it is possible to go for absurdly high speeds for a temp. Just probably not worth it.
Hmm.
I mean,
Okay,
even the 1000 you showed off earlier, like I can't do the rough math in my head, but like this is maybe what, like 100 modules of those 10 item things, or less.
Yeah, so the 1000 item ramp that I showed you earlier you can fit like 5 or like 6 or 7 of them into the space of this. Like
Yeah.
this is huge. And also this has the downside that you can't actually call items from the temp without doing some weird logic where you put in an empty box into the slice on purpose to take the item out.
Oh, this was
Oh,
where you did decimal.
Oh damn. Select project accessible dump. Yeah. And also another thing that I have been kind of trying to implement is this sort of temp logic where you're like detecting whether a partial was called or not, and then you use that to either input the partial that's coming from the input into the temp, or to call it. So, I mean, yeah, just having this detection built into the slice and like it would respond immediately. So you send the box and call at the same time, and like if you get a box called, you send both to get merged, but otherwise you don't. So like you don't get any waiting delay to do this like logic to see if you're sending a box or if you're calling one. Because
Yeah.
I imagine these sorts of temps, like in this form at least, I would struggle with that.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
it's interesting that I never thought of like just detecting if there were two boxes in the dropper as your method of finding pairs. Like that takes a lot of the strain off of the global logic, but the slice gets huge, and you can only do it with one item per slice. Is the trade-off?
Oh wait, that's okay. I just realized how this guy works. This temp specifically, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's getting more complex. So
Anyways. I
So
think
how
we
many
can-
item types was this really large temp?
It was like 800 something or 900. I think it was like 900.
Oh gosh. How many items is like considered realistic for a temp in like an average main
Well,
storage?
so
Really depends.
it really depends on your system. Like I have this unnecessary avarice where I want to be able to have bulk storage for every single item type.
Lol.
I mean, it's not reasonable in terms of practicality, but I think it's just really cool and it's a challenge to
But like this
try
could be
to do
8
that.
times smaller for comparative size.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. If you want to just do less items. So basically, the more item types you have, the bigger the temp. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's like
lot
especially
of-
with a crafter, like you don't need to have a lot of items in your temp.
The crafter?
I mean, the crafter, if we're talking about
That's
the
different, I guess.
compacting recipes, it's like 18 to 20 items can be compacted. So it's like not actually that big of a cut. Unless you're doing like crazy, like encoded crafter logic. But I'm not sure
Well,
exactly what you mean.
No, saying like everything, like from every wood type, only the wood logs need to be in bulk or in temp. Everything else could be like in chest hull or miss or something, and then crafted from the logs. So none of those need to be in
Yeah,
temp.
but the thing that I was planning for was even having like bulk support for like poisonous potatoes. Like it's not a rational thing.
It's his avarice. Yeah.
It's my avarice, yes.
I would say one of the cool things that people like, this is kind of a similar idea, but some people want really large bulks. I think there are a few people right now. Gobez, for example, like wants a lot of temp storage because he wants to do Palo Logic, or he did before. I'm not sure if that's still true or
Oh,
not. But basically, you want to be able to support full boxes of every type, even if you don't want bulk of every type. And so, if you have overflow from your chest hull slice, you want to temp it. Yeah, that's something that people do. But
By the
typically,
way,
for pure bulk, it's like 256 items is typically what people
Well,
shoot for.
most bulks are limited. Most bulks are 8-bit. So
Yeah.
like Obby's disk drive is 8-bit, so you have 256.
so before we head back to the other plot, could on the west side here, really quickly, is this like a one white tileable merger, and then there's one over here? What are these two things?
It's not
Oh
the
yeah, that's
encoder?
a crazy one-way tile merger. It doesn't actually. It's not very good. I don't. All of this is just my avarice showing. You know, this is a one-way tileable splitter. That's a one-way tileable merger.
Okay, because I didn't
This-
see where the variable part was in the splitter here. But
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't think too hard about it. This is just not that very good. Anyways,
okay, cool. Should we head back then, or I don't know?
yes. And we can start with the matrix temp now.
Also,
Okay.
what was the hex drive that was like hyper-threaded or something?
That was Tis's.
Yeah, my whitelister temp is hyper-threaded.
But what was the one where it like could call 2 boxes in the same chest?
I think like an Andrews project. Didn't you have a
Catnip's was
disco?
working on it.
Oh, interesting.
It was one of Catnip's old projects.
Oh, really?
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, you mean like the amortized?
Sure.
The amortized temp. But you have to that's like really complicated because you have to order the requests, sort them.
Yeah,
anyways.
that's why I was curious if anyone had actually done it.
I wouldn't say it's practical. I tried. I really tried very hard to make it work. It's not good. Anyways, this temp, because I do have to go at 1 o'clock to meet with Matt Batwings, so I'll be back.
Yo, W collab? Dang, what
Huh?
are you up to?
This is gonna be the next Andrews.
We are
upload.
spreading the gospel of Lamabot.
Oh, I
Nice,
was like, are we getting a programmable main storage?
bruh.
Someday.
I can't
Average.
wait.
Using his mass, using all using like a bunch of computational logic. Uh-oh.
I mean,
Um,
computational logic fits very well with encoded storage, to be
Yeah.
honest. Like,
like-
yeah. I mean, we'll talk more
I'd much
later.
rather see
Yeah, I was like,
item
let's
rams
focus on this
than-
while we're on the conversation, and he can debrief us later.
So there's so the temp storage here is called well, we call it a matrix temp, and the reason why it's called the matrix temp is because it's like a hybrid between the old like the huge like temp and the disk drive, but done in such a way so that like each dropper here is addressed like via like a matrix of selection using 2 whitelisters. So instead of just having 1 whitelister, you have 2. And so the benefit of having 2 is that you can kind of find like the location, the coordinate where the 2 whitelisters match, and then that is where your item is. So it's a lot faster that way. You don't have to store tons and tons of items in each dropper. In this one, you only store 10 at most, and that gives you a lot of a speed boost. If that, yeah. Let me see if I can copy this over.
So it's like less time searching in each container, right?
Yeah, but making
Yep,
the
that's
container
correct.
smaller. And the other benefit is the density of the footprint. You can get a lot more addresses in a smaller space by using the 2D addressing.
Okay, so I've set up all the whitelisters already, and I've set up dummy items inside like these boxes, these empty boxes inside the droppers. Imagine they're like different item types. Like I just didn't set them up with different item types because I'm lazy. So like say that we want to put in like we want to check if we want to put in like yellow stained glass in here, right? So if we put in yellow stained glass, what we get is this will activate. It will select that slice, and then it will empty out all of the items in the dropper, search them to the grouper, and then put them back. So it's already done. So you can see, and now in this slice, in this hopper right here, that you have the box at the very end. So the box is now stored, and so if we request the same box again, and you might want to check inside it because it's really fast, it will empty out everything at dropper speed, put them through the grouper, and then output the pair. So it output the pair already. And there you go. We got a pair of matching boxes.
Wicked fast.
So the idea here is that like because we only need to search 10 boxes, we can do all of this really, really quickly. So this is 170 game ticks per pair boxes, like per whitelisted boxes. And you can repeat this over and over and over again, like incredibly quickly. So let me see if I can demonstrate that too.
Yeah. Yeah, looking. It's always going to be 170 game ticks. That's like the full duration cycle. And we're not doing any variable cycle lengths. So.
Yep, so as you can see, the cart first goes under the whitelisters to select the slices, and then the items will get emptied out into the grouper, which is in this corner over here, and then they'll get matched up. Okay. Now, you might be wondering what happens if I put in boxes that are not whitelisted, and we got that situation covered, because if you put in like non-whitelisted boxes, for example, what will happen is it will just output the box out of the non-whitelisted output, and it's fast. It's going to do it in 60 game ticks instead of the 170 game ticks. So let's say if I do this right now, if this is already done processing, it is. So if I put in non-whitelisted input, it's just going to output it out of this dropper here, out of this output here. So this happens. This is 60 game tick speed. So you can technically use this device as your main whitelister if you want to, because it's fast enough to output like all the boxes very quickly. And this would be like, for example, your chest haul output or chest haul boxes.
This is like an insane card gate here with this chapter and like the momentum thing.
Yeah, so this is a really strange way of doing cart routing. And the reason why I did this is because otherwise it would be directional. So I had a design that used like curved rail kind of switching, but I don't know if you guys know this, but it's directional. So you have to like invert the signal if you rotate it 90 degrees. And so for this reason, this is the gate that I use, and it's momentum based. So without this trapdoor being powered, it has enough momentum to reach the end. Just skip past this rail, but with the trapdoor on, it will not be fast enough, and so it'll go out backwards.
Oh, that's crazy. Why did you
so
need
this
to
is a non-directional way of doing cart routing.
Interesting.
Now, why did I need to do this? It's because
Yeah.
of the 60 game ticks non-whitelisted output. Because the way that the non-whitelisted output works is that it only needs to check this first whitelister chest, and then it already knows, right? Because none of the chests here have activated. It means that the box is not whitelisted. So we can immediately output the box and restart the system. And so in order to do that, I have to make sure the cart goes in a different route, because otherwise, when the next request comes and takes out items from like the chest, the chest will be unlocked, like the hopper will be unlocked, and
That's crazy.
the cart can put in an item in there from previous run. So we don't want that happening. That's why it sends it to a different cart track. But the other benefit is that this also allows us to simplify the dummy item placement in the middle. So it's just regular like cart unstackable items. There's no need for like filtering as we had like with our earlier editions, earlier iterations,
That makes sense.
because we can guarantee that only the carts that come here are ones with the dummy items. Okay, any questions?
I'm curious
And
how
yeah,
this
go ahead.
actually compares to the pattern temp.
So the pattern temp is 30 game ticks per box plus 900 game ticks, right, for like the cycling if you have ideal output, but otherwise it's 150 game ticks per box and 900 game ticks, right? But then the issue is that like 150 game ticks is smaller than 170, but it's only by 20 game ticks, right? So if you consider the 900 game tick additional latency, that's a fixed cost, and divide it by 20, you know how many boxes it takes for the pattern temp for non-ideal output, of course, to match the speed of this device, and you'll find that it doesn't even work out. Like, so
But if you compare to like the whitelister, all the other designs, where were they? Like all these other ones over here, how does it compare to those? Because it's probably faster than those.
which ones?
Every other whitelister design over here.
Every
the
no,
describe-
no, no. TisU's whitelister is much slower. Same with 7.7s. The reason for that is because they have to search through more items inside slots. Like,
Yeah.
so
So
each
it's like
chest
in
has more
between the
items.
two.
I mean, there are different trade-offs for using
Well,
BIPIMs versus whitelister-based ones, simply because of the overhead time. So, like with mine, for example, its longest cycle, if you had 50 boxes in it, is faster than a single cycle from BIPIMs. But BIPIMs can send multiple cycles at once, so as long as you're sending multiple boxes, it'll be faster. But if you're only sending one box, then it's slower.
Obviously.
yeah, but
I thought it was worth saying.
if you go
It
for
is, it
ideal
is.
output, like theoretically this would be faster, but the issue is that this is also less dense, like BIPIM's temp. So I would just say it's much easier to go with the matrix temp because it works anywhere, and it's 400 item types. So you don't really have to. You can just like use this one device for all of your bulk, up to like 400 items, and that's like a very good trade, I would say. But also, like this can do non-whitelisted like output too. Like BitPin's temp, I don't think can do that. So you can just replace your whitelister with this device, and that will make your system simpler too.
I guess the only thing worth noting with using this as the whitelister is that it doesn't handle full boxes.
This doesn't handle full boxes? What do you mean it
Like
does handle full boxes?
Yeah, so it's like if you put a full box in of a matching item type, it would try to put it into the temp.
Just filter them out first. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you have to have a
yeah.
separate whitelister track for the filtered boxes. Or for the full boxes, so just worth noting.
Oh, true.
And the other thing too is like
That's kind of a significant problem.
Yeah, I'm in my next iteration of my temp, I'm gonna try and fit in an is full check. So that you can use
can't
as
you
your
just
whitelister.
can you just do an is full before you input here?
You can it has to be incorporated into it because if the item
After
is
whitelisting.
Yeah, so it has to be the isful and the whitelisting have to be like in tandem, so to speak, or at least conditional on one another in some ways. I can explain it more later, but it's annoying.
I don't think it has to be because
So Andrews, if a full box comes back from the merger, what's the plan?
if a full box comes back from the merger,
Yeah.
well then you just do an is full check for the full box.
And where does the box
Oh, you mean like
go?
you want to determine if it goes into chest or that kind of stuff? Well,
Yeah.
I guess I see what you mean. Like you have to have the full box check before the grouper, but after the whitelisting.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets really wonky.
I'm not sure if it's that difficult because the grouper
It's not.
itself already places the boxes, so you can
Yeah,
probably just
it'd be
put a
very
comparator
possible.
there.
Basically the whole point is that like the whitelisting step is required for every box, and so if you filter out boxes before the whitelisting step on the full condition, they won't get whitelisted, and so you need a separate whitelister. But at that point, you're already making a separate whitelister, and so why would you try and use the temp as your only whitelister? Because you already have another one.
I mean, the other alternative is you can just accept that there will be full boxes inside the temp. So,
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I think that's an okay compromise because, like, for temp storages, like, you're going to have anywhere between 1 to a full box, like nothing to a full box, anyways. Like,
So it's really just
so
one extra item.
yeah, it's just really one extra item.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's that big of a deal. Because like if you have you can have a box of 1727 items inside the temp, right? 1728 items is just like one more.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's actually worth it to do all that logic when you can just store a box in the temp. Anyways, certainly less elegant, but it does work. The next thing that I would like to, I guess, point out for here is, I would like to say that this kind of temp is like very good for non-encoded temps, like non-encoded storages. So like typically dynamic sorting was limited to encoded storages because like that's where it started. But like now with this kind of tech, I think we can have variable or dynamic sorting for like basically every storage. Of course, though, you still have to consider different factors. Yeah. Any other comments or questions? If not, I can go into details about some things that I really like about this. Like for example, the grouper here. Like I'm not exactly sure why other people didn't do this, but the grouper here uses boxes as the blocker items because you pull out from the grouper with boxes. So you can't, because we had this problem when we were testing TisUnfortunate before where pasting it into the world would trigger the CUD and that will take out a filter item. But like with this, like it doesn't matter because like you can't take out boxes with boxes. So it's like not it's not breakable.
The unborkable grouper.
Yes. But I would like to see this kind of design more, like in a sense of like I think it's really elegant and compact. Like everybody just uses Monica's Monica's grouper or something like that, or Christone's grouper, I think, or was it
Acacia's
Acacia's?
what we're using, yeah.
I don't think I made a grouper.
Yeah, it was Acacia. Yeah, but then like if you use those designs, that's fine. But like you can design your own that is very specific for your use case. That will result in a much smaller and compact design. Like before this, we tried to use Tis's and Tis's, Acacias, and Monica's, and it turned out to be a lot bigger and a lot slower. So uh, this was like a major breakthrough, I would say.
Mhm. Yeah, this is like a lot of the speed gain that allows us to get to 170 game ticks comes from the fact that Andrews put together this custom grouper for us. And uses some really cool, like, kind of anti-meta way of sorting boxes on output to make it significantly faster.
Anti-meta way, Luma.
Could we walk through where its outputs are? Could we pull it out?
Okay. Well, I have to go to
Yeah,
different
we'll
meeting
do it
in like
later.
2 minutes, but I
might
might
pull
be
it
back after lunch.
Yeah, and I can talk about it some. I'm fairly aware of how it works. So
Well, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Enjoy the grouper. I mean, and the temp storage and the grouper. Okay, I'll see you all.
see you.
Thank you. Bye.
I also, like, if it wasn't clear, I was pretty involved in the production of the temp. So if people have questions, I can field them. I did just pull the grouper out.
Oh, I was just
So,
trying to select it here. Okay.
yeah.
Did you already clean it off, or some of this still extra?
No, a whole bunch of it's still extra. It's this thing is so compact that it's like it's kind of hard to figure out what is which component.
Where's the input here?
So the input is literally just straight into the dispenser. They get piped right out of the
Can we mark
dropper
that? Where is it?
cage.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's right here. So this
There
is
we go.
the
Okay.
dispenser. Yeah, I'll grab red glass for ease of seeing. But yeah, so basically they get piped straight up into here and are instantly spit out and then start being grouped. Every non-accepted box goes into the hopper, and then gets sent back into the system. And then an accepted box gets pulled out by this bottom hopper here, out of this dropper, and then put into the dispenser.
So it's externally clocked?
Yeah, it's clocked by the same thing that clocks the dropper lines.
Makes sense.
And the reason that the hopper pulling every single box is important on after the box is broken is because what we found is that boxes were spending like in most groupers, I can pull one out.
A while.
Yeah, they spend like 20 game ticks in the water stream to get over the hopper that pulls the matching one. Like, it was an insane amount of time. And so we were looking at it and I was like, why don't we just like skip the water stream altogether? Like this is the water stream I'm talking about.
Did we paste it somewhere? What other?
Yeah. The water stream that they get broken into. And
Is
so
this like Acacia's temp?
yeah. And then it's one that I modified. This is what we were using before. And so this water stream would have like 3 boxes in it at a time. Even we put the we put the hopper like where this stair is, like where I put the red glass. And so it was literally just like sucking up so much time that we just decided it was worth it to try and make something else to make that faster. So anyways, that's the solution came up with is just that hopper. And then it gets pulled out of the dropper into the dispenser if it's a match. And and then pair output is over here into this water stream.
How do you handle like the first box? Because when it's gonna place, it's gonna set the cutoff, but then you also need to turn the item to it.
Yeah. So the first box also gets automatically dropped into the dispenser, and then it just sits there until the end of the cycle, and then it pulls its filter item. And this is actually really, really cool. The way that we detect for like the way we route, if you come to the bottom of it, the way we route the single box if there's no match is through this hopper back into this dropper line. And then you lock the hopper that had the filter item in it when you place the box, and then you break the box, and so it joins the dropper. Like it joins the rest of the boxes in the dropper. So you send the box back through the grouper, but with the intention of just sending it through, and so you lock the grouper hopper while that's happening.
Okay. It's interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is definitely one of the cooler parts of the whole temp. Just because of how specifically engineered it had to be for the situation.
So this dropper line here is the unmatched output, right?
Correct.
Okay. I don't know what to color that, but okay.
Yeah, so that just goes right back into the droppers. It depends on the test set, Lukeen. So basically, when we tested exclusively, like we did a quarry output and we tested it, and it couldn't keep up because it was all bulk boxes. But before that, when we were testing like the SciCraft Mushroom set, which is not a great test set for like stress testing var loops, as Kristen pointed out last time. But when we ran that set, it kept up just fine.
With what kind of splitting?
With 8x splitting.
8 one-time splitters, like 8x total?
Yeah, correct. Okay. No, not ideal output. Nope. It was just 8 1x splitters.
Where's the CUD? Oh, there it is.
Also, Leukemia asked a question about scalability earlier, which I wanted to address. Basically, the reason this temp is the size that it is and not any larger or smaller is that this basically makes maximum use of the whitelisters, because we have 2 whitelisters per slice the long way and 1 per slice the short way, and they're all pretty much full if you max out the capacity of all the dropper cages. If you wanted to add more items to this temp, you would need to completely redesign it because the whitelisters aren't large enough to fit all the items. But theoretically, as long as you kept the number of items in a dropper the same, the speed would be fairly similar. It'd be a little bit slower because you add a little bit of travel time, but it would be basically the same.
And just checking that math here, sorry, to make sure I'm following. So we have 5 dropper lines, like on this side, and 1 filter chest or whitelister chest. And you have 10.
Yeah, if you come up top, it's a little easier to see because he laid out these shulker boxes.
Yeah, but that's only 1 per dropper cage.
Yeah. And so you
I
have.
was just trying to get at the max capacity here. There's 5 rows, 1 whitelister chest, and 10 max in each dropper cage, right?
Yep.
The 5 times 10 is 50, and that fills up the chest.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's unfortunately this is like the maximum size for this number of whitelisters. You can add if you did 3 wide, you could add an extra chest to this side, but then you'd also probably need to do 2 wide here. So just like it gets so much larger so quickly, it doesn't really make any sense to go larger than this. Yeah.
Could you make it longer though? This is 8 times 10, 80 into 2 double chests is 40, 40.
40 per. Yeah, you can make it. You could make it a little bit longer. The problem is it just
Rail.
like it doesn't really make like 400 item types was like a good compromise. And I think you'd be adding 10 items per chest or 10
Yeah,
items
400
per
is a lot.
Yeah, 400 is like is a good size. It's not really necessary to go larger, I don't think. And you sacrifice like speed and size for it too.
Cool.
Yeah, it is about that, Dom. But like I was saying earlier, some people, and like I'm kind of among this population, the ability to temp all items it's very nice for really featureful storages.
Can you not just have two of these next to each other though? Like it'll whitelist out, and you can just whitelist it to the next one.
Yeah, you could do that. That was actually one of the things that we were going to try with when we were doing the var loop stuff. Is we were going to take two of my whitelist attempts, cut the population of each chest in half, and then chain them together and see if that kept up.
Oh, true.
Would never test that because
like this then.
Yeah. The interesting thing with that is just like it's like that. Training two of mine together is still smaller than this. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Which is just like, I mean, this is so much faster, so it's not really comparable, but it's still
what's like the density notes on that? If you had two of yours, how full would that be to match this?
Each slice would have half it. So mine also stores 400 items. And that's 50 per, so it'd be 25 per whitelister chest.
Okay, so still like probably slower cycle than 10.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like mine is not nearly as optimized as this is for speed. Like this uses a piston bolt for a whitelister. This uses like, there's not a single water stream. There might be one water stream in this entire thing, and it's for the non-whitelisted output. And it's because like water's slow, so Andrews didn't want to use water, and like it works. Whereas mine uses water streams all over the place because I'm skill issued compared to Andrew. So, but maybe in future iterations I might try and employ his grouper tech, just because it is so much faster and it gets rid of so much of the delay.
So if I was to like clock this new grouper, is it just a GameTix clock into the input dropper line?
Yep. Yeah, it's just an GameTix clock.
Then when does it turn off, and does that trigger something?
The turn off does trigger stuff. It has to do the output cycle for the dispenser on the bottom to pull the whitelist or pull the grouper like filter item.
So it needs to turn off, then turn back on, and then turn off again.
Kind of, yeah. And it's all hooked up to like a couple of clocks that are synced together inside the temp. So it's really, really woven in there. Andrews is such a greedy motherfucker sometimes. It's so impressive.
The stair here on the matched output, was this determined reliable? I remember Monica was asking about it or something.
This I think caused an issue on this grouper. I think I actually don't remember. I think maybe the issue was like when it was flipped this way. I know we had like a box get stuck at one point. But I think it does. I think it floats up fine like this. I don't totally remember, to be honest.
Okay, I just remember reading through that thread and people were whining about the stair for some reason.
Yeah. I used it in my 3Y toggle grouper, and I tested it very for a really long time, and it was totally fine. Yeah, like I think I tested like a million or more items, and it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, like it'll come out, it'll float up. It's just like if that delay for one box will destroy the pairing or something.
Yeah. It could be a concern. Luckily, we use batching in the var loop, like is shown here, and so there's plenty of time, but still not ideal.
I don't think that's plenty of time for waddle growing up slowly in the stair, but yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, might not be.
That thing takes forever to float up if it does get stuck.
That is true. It's really fucking annoying when things get caught like that.
Why is it there at all, though? Just so it doesn't flow? No, seriously, why is that there at all, actually?
Oh, the stair was just for footprint stuff.
That should be removed in the final design, though, no?
Yeah. I mean, like, this literally is just for, like, footprint. Like, I can get rid of all this, and the water stays there, and it looks pretty. It's like, that's the reason. So
I would totally remove that, though.
Yeah. I mean, we can get rid of the water. People know where the output is, so not a deal. not a problem. Cube indeed. Yeah. Any other questions about the temp grouper?
So has anyone made a, like, I don't know, how would you put this? Like a grouper that would work? No, sorry, a temp that would pull out an item for kind of like fit merging kind of stuff, like.
We're working on it. I think we
Fit
should.
merging. Oh.
Yeah,
I think Carrie was working on that actually. It's such a fucking annoying problem. This is like, again, like reasonably, this is probably the closest you could get to attempt to work for fit merging. That's not like a skyscraper, but it's not specifically designed for that purpose. No.
code attempts they're like, okay, I wouldn't call them easy, but like it's just not challenging with Empower at all. But I guess what I felt the best one. It does get annoying, but honestly, could just be me, but I don't see like what's the tough part, what makes it so difficult. I understand all of the
It's
edge
the
cases. I've
speed.
worked with it. What's the wiring? Speed.
Yeah, I mean, like speed, like making it fast enough for fit merging to be like not a like make the pair call not a bottleneck for the fit merging is difficult.
That I agree with.
I think you and I were talking with Carrie about this actually.
I can't recall it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's a skill issue of me.
Would it be possible to use this temp for fit merging? Because like, I don't know how you get a box out.
Because this.
I mean, like, yes.
I guess empty box?
Not really,
It has to be modified.
because the problem is you'd have to be searching off of a mixed box.
Yeah.
And that
But
can break
hopefully,
things. And and then the problem is that right now, if there's no match, it inputs the box into the slice. And so if you put in a non-matching, if you put in a box with no match and it's a mixed box, you end up with a mixed box in the slice, and that can very easily break things.
Oh, also,
definitely.
I just realized another. Oh wait, no, I'm being goofy. But yeah, you need to have two separate inputs pretty much, because one input would be like for partials, and those can get put into the temp, and then mixed boxes. They can't. So if they don't find a match, they just get output.
Yeah, exactly. And then, I mean, I think another interesting way to do it is like I would probably design a grouper myself that just runs with you input a single like an item type, and then it searches for that in the system rather than inputting a box.
Yeah.
Any reason you do
that? Mainly because I would want like the first one, just like the issue I just described about that inputting the box causes issues. You could do a separate box input, but I would rather just route the item and not deal with the box, and then send the box ahead to the fit merger. So, like theoretically, you can have the temp hooked up to get the item, the box that it outputs, into the fit merger lower portion faster. That would be like kind of my design philosophy. Yeah.
Because I thought like another method was like to just use the temp. I guess it's more for slower temps, but like to just pair it up first. And so then you kind of create a buffer as the temp runs, and then sense those pairs later.
Yeah, I mean that would work too. I think like if I'm doing fit merging though, like I'm skipping the splitting step for speed and like the reducing redundancy. And so I feel like buffering a whole bunch of items at the head of the temp, I feel like I'm giving up that advantage. I'd rather just split the boxes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of fit merging as a concept. I think it'd be like cool.
I'm slowly disliking it more and more.
Yeah,
but I'm still interested.
Like
Yeah,
it's a
I would love to
concept.
see it done well. I just don't know if it's very easy to do it well.
Well, the thing is, the concept of fit merging done well basically needs an instant temp. You'd have to go like 8
Yeah.
game to temp.
Yeah, exactly. And like, we just haven't gotten that far on temp technology. Like we saw
Or it's
Andrew
large,
upper speed
yeah.
temp. Like,
I still wouldn't say it's like it's a technology problem. Nobody had just really approaches it like that. Like if somebody was to want to do it, it's possible, certainly.
that's true. It is.
I
It is
haven't
very
seen a
possible.
working one on Bedrock. I mean, like, I know they exist, but I haven't
Oh,
had a chance to
Flopper
look at
speed
it.
like fast. You can do drop just like and Bedrock though, like proper speed. Even something within this temp, like
Oh, interesting.
100
With
something game text is just not the thing. You don't
Sword
even
is
do
crazy.
droppers without any insane tech. So yeah.
I also know.
Oh yeah.
Was it Cybot did his like bulk slice temp, like the 16 game tick box sorter that had like a temp built in. Yeah, the in slice bulk temp. Yeah, that was interesting and pretty fast as well. But it's like it's
Anyone
kind
have
of
a
just like
link to that? I don't remember that one.
I can try and find one.
I remember seeing like a design like that on Bedrock, but I don't know. I don't think it really matches with kind of the point of the temp, does it?
Let's see.
It's like halfway in between a temp and a conventional storage. And
I found it.
I guess it's gonna be simpler, but do you really gain anything? Just a whole bunch of extra sorters.
I just put it in text for voice. Yeah, I mean, I think like I think it's actually kind of cool for like smaller storages that have like less bulk or like like fewer bulk items, and they just kind of want to not have to deal with like specified temp technology and loops. But it is gonna.
Loki loader. Just loader. Like it's not a big way off for a smaller system too. Just go with that.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of small systems do just skip var loops in general, so it's.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like it hasn't found its niche. I think I saw Crispy Cade in 1.12 was using something like it, but like whatever was going on there got incredibly bulky, incredibly fast, which I think is more like a 1.12 issue.
Alright, by the way, speaking of small systems, what's up with the baby sidecar? It's like there was a lot of hype about that, and then just kind of
Oh,
died out.
a lot of hype feels like an exaggeration, but I it's like on the back burner for me right now because I cannot. I actually hate wiring LIF grouper like that. I hate it so much, and so I just like don't do it. And that's the next step is I need to make one because I want it to be baby.
Yeah.
And like the reason it's worth it, I think it's worth Lukeem is because actually, are you talking about baby Sigfar or LIF grouper? LUF grouper for convenience of people here. I think it's worth it because I think it would unlock var sorting for like very small systems in a way that it currently isn't available. And I think that it actually would be surprisingly efficient because the bottleneck that I experienced doing SIGVAR was due to the reset across multiple slices taking a really fucking long time. And so if you are really efficient with baby SIGVAR, you can run cycles back to back with like basically
What kind of filters are you thinking for that? Like 8 times cart or hopper?
Yeah, it would just be one. It would be baby cart SIGVAR, so it's just like one cart per slice. Yeah, you merge the slice and the front end, so it's not like a like the problem with 3 wide tileable slices is that the front end will always be bigger than the slice for SIGVAR because there's so much overhead logic. But when you only have one slice, first and foremost, the logic of coordinating the slices disappears, and second, you can disregard the slice constraint for the SIGVAR components, and so you can incorporate a lot of the things that you were trying to cut and move to global into the slice itself. And so it actually gets like much more reasonable. I can try and find the dimensions, but I think I was going to be able to get it probably into like 8x9 by like, it was like 8x10x9 or something like that. Maybe a little taller than that, maybe like 8x14x9, but like it was going to be fairly small actually. I just need to like not be lazy and gain some skill, and then we'll be there. But yeah, no, and that's the one we were working on that together. And I was kind of using the base of that. I just am just like, the problem is again, like the LAF and the grouper are both like fairly chunky components. And so trying to get them both into that space, a footprint is like damn near impossible. And so you're gonna end up with this lumpy, ugly looking thing. And so I'd rather make the LUF grouper, which is going to be bigger than either of those components, but significantly smaller than both of them. Yeah, and that would solve my problems. But yeah, and then you don't need any temp like this because you have ideal output, and so you're not spamming boxes at something. That's why I feel like SIGFAR is so important. Because it just kind of flicks off the temp problems and says I'm not worrying about you.
That's because it takes over the searching and slice. Yeah.
Yeah, it just ignores the part where you have a whole bunch of, you don't ever have multiple partials of the same item type.
That's because
You
it
don't even
switches
need
through all the partials at the start when it cycles.
Yeah. I don't even think you necessarily need BitBim temp because you're outputting the pairs at you're outputting one pair every cycle, and those cycles are probably going to be a few hundred game ticks a piece, and so you can probably go with like Maya whitelister one because you can amortize the cost. Like BitBim's temp, you could save up the boxes, or you could just not save them up and be done sooner because you're not waiting at the end.
BitBim's temp is more really for the ideal splitter.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's like
come out so quickly.
Yeah. So when you have the cycle structure, I don't think BitBim's temp is particularly uniquely helpful. Yeah.
I
That
still
was
don't understand how I broke it so easily, but that's a problem for me later. I did kind of accidentally teleport to the nether dimension, though. That was crazy as well. So I might have just unloaded it.
Yeah, maybe you did. That's possible.
I don't know how big spawn is, though. I think it should have stayed loaded in spawn, but
it depends on what version, I guess, and like what you set your spawn stuff to. I don't know. But I do think.
Anyway, I did want to actually try this though. So
getting back on track a little bit. Matrix temp, I think, is like probably the best temp for the combination of size and speed that we've seen to date.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. You guys are like crazy efficient on that stuff.
Yeah, so I'm
running BitBim's temp, by the way. I don't know if people care.
Okay. I'm actually gonna come take a look. Yeah.
I know, right?
Fucking Pika. No, literally.
Man.
Oh my god, that was a fever dream. Like, that was crazy.
Yo, holy cards.
So right now it's doing the whitelisting part. There's a pile of boxes at the top here. And so it does have a slight despawn danger, but
Man, slight fear.
Oh man.
It was kind of funny because that's where the machine crashed for me. So all the boxes in it despawned and the machine completely choked itself.
Oof.
When it's running normally, though, it's got plenty of time to clear it out. So it's a choice. They should all be in the first chest here, though, soon. I just put in 27 boxes.
I am a dolphin in there, of course.
Wait, what?
Shy.
Yeah,
No.
gotta get a dolphin in here for the.
Can
Yes.
someone not stand on the barrel? Thanks. I'm gonna put in the same barrel now and just remove a few random ones. So this is the part I thought was interesting. It sets up the carts with 3 blockers first, then box, then the item. And so it checks if there's a 6th item in the cart and puts both items back into the box so that matching boxes just get outputted instantly.
Oh.
And then it sends unmatching back to the top. And then when it goes through the whitelister, it just has gaps between all the boxes, and so those get sent out. And then the boxes with items stay.
Just checks.
And so, I mean, it's just super smart, compact, and fast for what it does.
Yeah.
And then it sends that back up.
Wait, I was just curious though how it checks to like separate boxes. I guess you can do it based on signal strength because
it does a signal strength alternation between item and box, and that's what it checks for.
It doesn't handle non-stackable boxes though.
Oh,
yeah,
that should not have had 2 boxes. What happened here? Did someone put items in, or did it do that?
I didn't touch it.
Okay, that's great.
Wait.
Get on the
on Earth.
Nothing.
Bug reports.
Yeah, bug report. Screenshot. What was the output here?
Oh, there's 2. There's 2 soul sand and 2 warp stems in there.
Yeah.
And where did the soul sand go? There's no soul sand box in here either.
Lol. Unfinished, I guess.
Apparently, I don't know if Bipin knows that, but it seems to be true.
I'm still struggling to dissect this wiring though. Like,
I can't read Bipim's wiring. I've given up on that a long time ago.
I read all his wiring in Corner Miss, and it hurt my head.
Damn.
I actually still have no clue how it works because the chunk loader line kept turning off for me and stopping the system, and chunk loaders were definitely working. I was going to ask him about it, but
there are items buffered in this hopper right now as well.
Yeah.
No, the cobblestone had 2 cobblestone box had 2 nether quartz in it, so it kind of choked the system somehow.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Well, not when I inputted it, but somehow it added items to the wrong box. Oh shoot, yeah, there's boxes in the item send hopper.
Shit broke.
What the hell? Yeah.
This is insane though. Like, Andrews wiring is like no joke easier because Andrews wiring, at least the old stuff. Mainly what I looked at is like the ideal splitter and also
Bipim
the
does have a lot of
adjustable.
toggles. Like there's a dropper toggle here, dropper toggle here, dropper toggle here, down here. The wiring in the back though, this is clean.
Yes.
But
still, like, I just cannot comprehend how does it detect specific signal strengths? Because this is just an observer watching a
it
piece
changes
of dust.
from 1 to 2.
But that's gonna detect every update. That's just gonna. Oh wait.
That's the point.
Oh, if it doesn't detect the pulse, okay, that's goofy.
When they change, they go to the top chest and get recycled. When it doesn't change, it's all boxes, so they get sent out the bottom.
Because actually, this is not bad at all. I was just expecting like detection for a specific signal strength, but yeah, this is still on a decent side though.
I want to see what's wrong with the temp though. I had it at least work for 1 cycle for me though.
It worked once. I don't know. This is why I use things that I make because I know how they work.
Well, I mean, If I had more time, I might genuinely rewire this, but I don't know if that's really
Yeah,
on my list. Because I
Yeah.
really like the concept. I don't know what he
the
did.
concept is cool. This is also something that like one thing I like about this is it doesn't use an actual grouper. There's no person firing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this
That's the
could
whole point of the
genuinely be
system.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, this could be like you could tell this. If you separate, if you have a separate like whitelister, which kind of means it would have to be like fixed, but you can make it bucket search with just like 2 white slices,
Yeah,
assuming that you pre-assign each one to a
that was
specific
the
type.
version I was debating about making, is have a whitelister at the top and have it send into the slice, and then check the
Yeah.
chest and send it out.
That would be cool to have.
But
Oh, so you have a separate. I'm confused.
No, the,
All
the,
right,
the
how are
whole
you combining
point,
bucket
the whole
search?
point is to make it bucket search. So like this system checks for an item type, checks all of the chests,
Mhm.
and then yeah. And if the whitelister is separate, you could get like a mess, assign a bunch of items to this slice, and then you can run them in parallel. So a box gets
Oh,
sorted into the slice, right?
yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. It's not even
I think
a
it's
bucket
30
search.
items per slice. I don't know.
I think it's probably less than that because it's one
20,
item. 20.
26. Sorry.
Yeah, 26. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
And
funny how that number comes up.
what is
frequently.
even like the point of the non-stackable here though?
Because
like-
that sets the trigger correctly on the first. Oh shit! I just trashed the boxes. I trashed my demo pieces. But just like, remember, this whole chest gets drained past that observer filter behind the hopper. That was a weird word. And so if there's an item and then a box,
oh wait, I get
it
it.
does unstackable, item, unstackable. And so there's a
Yeah,
change.
yeah.
But if the item is taken out, then it's unstackable blank box, which is unstackable. So the second one is still unstackable, no change detected, so it gets sent out the bottom.
That said though, like I imagine it is doable if you do proper signal strength detection. You can just get rid of that. You can get 27 boxes per slice, right? And yeah.
Yeah, you could
Well, there
use.
was a concept he was working to store that extra unstackable in like the hopper right below it. But complexity and shit, it's like, I don't know.
For an extra box,
complexity. Sure, complexity, but for what reason? Also that you can use this specific gate. If you detect for like a signal strength with this, wait, actually, okay, you would have to do box first, and then its item, I think, just because
Okay.
otherwise, what if the first box is being called? Then you just have box immediately after, and then
What
if
are
you
the
do
votes
that,
this thing is going to recover?
okay, well, with that logic, it does get a bit goofier,
Sorry.
but not as goofy as like storing them unstackable somewhere and whatnot. So yeah, it's doable.
Okay, 4 boxes. Watch the cart. Okay. Should be sent up here. Why is there only 2?
Also,
One,
I haven't really looked at this that
2.
much. Is there a reason it sounds like such a large amount of cards? Like, what are those for?
1 cart for each box. I inputted 27 boxes.
Oh,
Both the
that's
first
how
times.
it's
This was 4
wired.
carts for 4 boxes.
Uh,
I genuinely don't know where those boxes went, though. Where the hell did they go?
wait. But then, like, after that, just oh wait. Oh, never mind. Just seeing things. But then you have to use a grouper, right? Because you got a
When?
whole
What?
bunch of partials, right?
The point of the
There's like
system is to work with psych for an ideal splitter. Those are the grouper.
No, not in that sense though. In the sense to sort the partial sort, because if you're calling multiple boxes at a time, like multiple item types, it's gonna give you multiple boxes in the output, and you
Yes.
have to handle that.
Yes.
And how do you do so?
You send all the pairs into the sidebar.
Yeah, you just use the ideal
You
output
just
thing to
ultimate
merge.
lazy.
Okay. Alright, I got it.
I'm genuinely confused where those two boxes went though. What?
That is a pretty interesting concept though, like I never
It is
thought
really
about
cool.
using it this way.
It is very, very cool.
How did they just disappear? Okay, let's do a few more. 4 more.
Wait. I happen to have 2 boxes in my inventory. There's like bars and saplings. Could those be
Yeah,
those by any
okay. You
chance?
took them somehow.
Right.
Thanks.
And like, and the other time, I literally like opened a dropper. I saw those 2 boxes. I was like, wait, does the dropper have stuff? Oh no, it's just in my inventory. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
so
certainly
now
supposed to be there.
now
I
it's
was just
working.
I was just parkouring along this.
So we've got
yeah.
3 boxes in the first chest. I don't know. I need to go look at how all the wiring works that triggers the system starts. But anyway, I wanted to test the other systems as well though. Got 2 bone meal boxes as output. At least that part works. What other one should we torture next? I haven't actually tortured either of these. Any votes? Okay, I'll just go over here. Not whitelisted output. That's not the input.
Input's over here. You chose mine to torture, so
Okay.
uh,
This is the input. Does it
yeah.
say that somewhere? No.
No, the sun got deleted.
Okay. Good to know. Let me okay. Torture box. I'll just do the same box. So I should double check that these are single item type.
Depending on what you're doing, it might just be like all non-whitelisted.
Okay, so that barrel is legit. Oh, well, we'll see what happens.
This is one way to torture it, sure.
I mean, it should lock the input and all that, right? Yeah.
It doesn't. Yeah, it'll be fine. It's all clocked fine.
It'll be fine, he says.
Yeah.
I actually don't know if anything will match this. This is funny.
I don't think it will. You can set up. We can pull the whitelisters from something else, but
Nah, let's leave it. What was I have the other box we can use. Do any of these match?
if it's I think those will almost all match.
Okay, how is this doing? We've done a few boxes. I should go in spectator. So how does this work?
I mean, it's just the whitelisted temp. The only interesting thing that's like
Okay, we got
unique
box
about
start
it is the hyper-threading.
and then blockers. Okay, so you should have item box 3 blockers. Let's see. Yep. And so then when it matches the whitelister, items pulled out, sent back. And cart should be sent to the slice. Maybe? No, item is sent to the slice. Did anything match at all? I don't think so.
I
Can I
don't.
tick
Nothing
warp
has.
this? How do we?
What was that?
I don't think anyone else is doing stuff on the server, right?
No, I think it's just Also, it's typically kinder to people's computers if you use tick rate and you just increase it rather than tick sprinting.
Oh,
People get kicked.
okay. What rate do you guys go for? I don't know.
I typically said it's like 200, 300, 400, somewhere in there.
Okay, so that's like 6 times slower. Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot slower, but like it's fast enough for purposes. What the hell happened to this
What
guy?
was
This whitelister broke,
that's always fun.
and I know not why.
Oh yeah.
How did
Have you
that
ever
happen?
seen the tick sprint itself affect things, or
I don't think so. I don't think I have. Hold
those
on.
4 boxes may have matched if the output is true. Cobble, that would have matched. I don't remember
Yeah.
the red though.
So that's what missed. That's what's missing there.
I don't know what else was in there though.
Hold up. I'm gonna repaste it. Oops.
Did anything end up at the bottom? Oh, 1. Okay, I think I'll torture the other one for now. We have a stone bricks and a mossy cobblestone. Okay, cool. Let's go torture this one. I'll come back to that, maybe.
Maybe.
Dude, I think I just found the single use case for the dragon egg and wiring. I
What
need
the
a I need a non-solid movable gravity block. Wait, is the dragon egg movable?
No. What?
Oh, okay, never mind.
Oh wait, does it not
Doesn't
break?
it teleport when you push it? No, it breaks when you
Yeah,
push
yeah,
it.
Is there such a block that matches these criteria?
Say it again.
Movable gravity block, non-solid.
Falling anvil, kinda.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
But it's not movable, right?
well,
Go to
not
Bedrock
quite,
Edition.
really.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Wait, what do you need it for though?
Start this
Quad
thing.
front end.
Yeah, best.
Bruh.
You just turn off yellow to start it. I'll start
What?
with red. What does red do? Just deactivate and then it doesn't. Who's got a new skim? Is it broken? I don't know. Seems like it is working. Full sand. Planks. Logs.
I seemingly ran. I'm so confused about these bottom pistons. Oh, they're just getting triggered by a
Where?
line. What? Beneath me, like the pistons on the slider. They're just like a few of them just trigger every time from the observer line behind it. Don't know why. It doesn't seem to be doing anything else.
Oh, like the toggles? Or
The sliders, just the
latches,
sliders
yeah, the
getting
latches.
triggered. Yeah.
Does it? Oh, wow, that is weird. Yeah, that's a weird effect there.
I don't know what the point of that is.
Well,
Like it's just
coming
triggering
from the observer line.
Yeah, but that observer line doesn't go anywhere. Wait, does it go somewhere? No, it doesn't. No.
I'd be willing to bet it's just compact wiring. And he was like, screw it, I can activate these pistons, it doesn't matter. I'd be willing to bet that's it.
Maybe I imagine some edge case stuff because the line isn't going anywhere.
Well, if it was edge case, all the pistons would probably be powered at some point. This is like 3 random pistons. This is just compact wiring.
But like, why? Like, where does the line go? Like
Somewhere over here. I don't know.
Like it goes into this block, but then the block doesn't go anywhere.
Oh, okay, you win. What on earth makes those edge cases?
I am confused.
Well, is it done yet? Okay, so what do the whitelist chests looks like?
It's 2 per during the last.
Gotta find the chest. There we are. And 3 at the end. Yeah, okay, cool. So what does the yellow do? It's
I don't know. Push the
it
piston
locks the
down.
input hopper. Maybe.
It looks like it turns off the perma-locking of the input hopper. Because if this composter's up, then that gets locked permanently.
Well, let's deactivate it, see what happens if I hit the start. Should just do nothing. So it's just a off switch, I guess. A pause, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd bet it's like some kind of pause. Oops, I meant to hit the green. Whatever. Turn it off in the middle. See what breaks. Let it run 2 cycles. Should get some pairing come out, right? Overflow. Oh, no. There we are. Oh, it double signal strength on the pressure plate. That's interesting. Grindstone for hitbox. Okay, cool, cool. It leaves the chest whitelisted, right?
Not permanently, only until a
No.
match comes.
Only until a match comes. Interesting.
Yeah, so it's purely variable.
That's actually really cool. Okay. That probably shows or results in the good speed boost. Maybe not that.
I don't know if the variable component makes it faster or slower. I think the biggest thing is the piston bolt, and then the way that they use instant dropper lines literally everywhere are the big reasons it's fast.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on how many like bulk item types you give it.
Yeah, I would say, Lukeem, what is the app, how are you using it on your SSP?
That's not good. Oh no.
Oh, this is so funny.
What?
The slider with the slime block that buds the piston when it's down. This is crazy wiring.
Oh, this. There we go.
Gotcha.
Why not just have the redstone block above? Oh, they wanted to power the dust line over here. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very versatile redstone block.
Yeah, that thing does like 3 different things.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, yeah, and the dropper, but is this doing anything? Isn't this just constant?
Yeah, this is just a readout.
Yeah, so that doesn't matter. That's not.
Yeah.
What do we got here? Okay, so this is recombination, I think. don't think I can see it. Is it instant recombination?
Line block berries. Oh, they did a very custom grouper tech here as well. They have a slime block based grouper.
Where's the grouper?
I'm in it right now. Is
This is. Oh, this is the grouper? I thought this was like is full. Oh gosh.
I'm pretty sure
this is
there's a
the
grouper.
They also did shulker box in the filter.
Yeah, it doesn't help anything here, but I guess it kind of does, but like not in a very meaningful way.
And still 3 hoppers below. I thought that was interesting that Andrews did it with 1 hopper and box below instead of 3 hoppers.
Yeah, it's really unique to that. I've never seen a grouper done that way before.
Well, it's just you got to make sure the timings stay precise when you do that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's, I mean, and like you can't do, it's purely for pair matching, does that it really works? Like if you have theoretically any number of boxes matching, that does not work. So.
Oh,
But oftentimes.
Stuck in the. I missed it. A box was chilling in the stair here.
Ooh.
But that goes back to why it has the golden pressure plate to make sure they actually match.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, you have the grindstone here. Why is there a stair at all? Like, seriously.
That is a good question. I am not sure.
Like, it's just making it waste time for no reason.
Yeah,
there are a lot of stairs there. Holy.
Like, someone please tell me why on earth that is there, because that does not need to be there. It looks like they added it after the fact. They were like, no, let's just make a alignment grindstone, and then forgot about it.
Damn.
3D aligning? No, the grindstone does that.
This is actually some insane element though.
What the hell does this grindstone do?
The boxes hit it. The grindstone
and then they just like
wall.
Interesting.
The like wood.
Oh,
farm.
the honey pushes them? What?
The piston pushes it. Honey's just there for alignment. It's a movable.
Oh, I see.
Non-full block.
That's so funny.
There's so many interesting choices here.
Yeah, I mean, this is just very Chinese wiring.
Absolutely.
Like, I mean, there's just no world where any person I've spoken to wires like this, and it's so cool.
Like, just what does that mean to you? Like, it's just like unique or something, or?
No, it's more like they have very specific techs that they use that are not common in the Western storage tech community.
Yeah.
Like this, like if you see things that you have no comprehension of, and you know the person who made it is like part of the Chinese community, it's fairly safe to assume it's just a part of their meta.
Yeah, true. I guess we have our meta as well in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, like we have a lot of things that we do that, like, I'm sure they look and they go, "What the fuck is that?" Like, why the fuck would you do it like that? You know?
That's still goofy though.
Empty.
Like,
that's empty. That's empty. That's
I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say just outright weird is necessarily good, because we certainly have higher standards. Like,
I think our standards are probably just different. I guess I don't know much about their standards.
I would still argue though.
They have different standards.
Like, this is just goofy.
It feels very goofy. Yeah.
It works though.
It does.
Yeah, I mean that's of course. Yeah.
I'm not even bothering with that.
For stone, can I get the box that you were using to test with like
the torture box?
Yeah, your torture box.
I just pulled some random Hermitcraft boxes and took a unique stack from whatever partials I found. I got stuff over here. I don't know if you know where I am.
I do, yeah.
Oh, you're the pink face. Okay.
Yes.
Regarding Chinese wiring though, you gotta say like, okay, I don't know, it really depends. Like, there are times when they can come up with some really unique stuff, and It is
15.
interesting to look at like compared to our stuff. So for me, it mainly has to do with slices.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it pulled out 3
In the
chains when it
Matrix one,
broke.
I was trying to dissect, for instance.
Yeah, it meant that a non-whitelisted cart probably made it through, or like a cart that didn't have a blocker item in it. If there's an empty box in there, it would break it, for example.
Yeah, but would it not pull out blockers from the first chest?
It can, if it pulls blockers from the first one, then it can pull blockers from every one thereafter, and
But
it
I don't
kind
remember
of
it ever pulling. It was only pulling blockers from the last chest.
yeah. So I don't know what happened because like
So it pulled out the cobblestone. Oh, there's soul sand here. I actually know why that broke. Haha. The cart spent 2 times 8 game ticks on this hopper. It pulled out 2 cobblestone, and then it pulled out more chains.
oh really?
Yep. I almost guarantee you that's what happened.
I've never seen that happen before, and this soul sand has been here the entire time, so I've never seen that happen before. But
Why else would it slow down here?
I mean, it shouldn't. It should be like it's not slowing down there at all. At least it doesn't look like it is. Accurate.
Was the red wool also missing? Oh, I didn't save a screenshot of what broke. Oh well.
I don't think that it was. It doesn't look like it's slowing down at all.
What box are we on? Can I just spam some cobblestone in there?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. There's a higher chance of cobblestone happening sometime soon.
Fucking drop of randomness is my bane. It's so fucking annoying for testing things and reliability and finding bugs.
That's one thing, is like in a lot of my box unloader stuff that I've done, I've found what I call Samus logic as really nice. Because like where it locks the... Okay, there's cobblestone. Sorry, I'll finish that sentence in a second. And cobblestone's back. That one worked.
It did what it was supposed to this time. Shocking.
Okay, cobble's gone again. Cobble's back. Is there anything else that can pull from the cart here?
No.
Activate a rail. No carts on that. Wow. Okay. Strange. Anyway, that's one thing I noticed in like Bipham's wiring as well, and it looks like this one. You guys read the boxes in the dispenser, and you don't lock the input hopper. Like you just let them pile up in the dispenser so they can change order. It's more
Yeah.
compact for storing boxes there, but like the way Samus Simple Unloader works, like it powers the input hopper as well. So there's only
Yeah.
ever one box in the dispenser. So it keeps order and makes like the logic so much simpler. Here,
Yeah, I
in
thought
the more-
about locking the input hopper. It just didn't seem like it was gonna be more complex for
Yeah.
very little gain.
in the larger machines where you like really are doing clocks and stuff, it might just make sense to not care. But in box unloaders, it genuinely makes it like so much simpler
Mm-hmm.
to just lock the input hopper.
Yeah, I think that makes sense for more sliced things.
But in these, like the main reason for doing that is that when you just read the dispenser with a box unloader, you have to have a clock.
Yeah.
Unless you do empty box detection, like with the signal strength thing. Like, I don't know if you guys remember this stuff. How this detects empty boxes.
Oh, yeah.
It actually like used to be somewhat of a meta in the box unloaders, and then they found the input locking logic. But this means you don't have to have a clock, and yes, one of my videos was on that, if you watch my horrible rants on YouTube.
I have not recently, admittedly, but
I genuinely don't care.
this tech is like part of my favorite cut though. Like the thing that Leo I think came up with a while ago.
Did you mean to lock that?
Hmm?
Scoot over.
No. I meant like this. Yeah, I guess we can do that.
Put it over there.
Yeah.
This is my space.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
It's like a card, but it's
I think this is the wrong polarity, but yeah, it's like you use the
Oh, so it's off when the composter's up. Yeah.
yeah. You can do the inverted one.
Yeah,
I think this is the wrong polarity though. It needs to be up here.
No, it was good.
No, this is the cut.
Oh wait, no, it's good.
Yeah.
Wait, oh, yeah. Here we go.
And you can use it for
yeah.
this hopper. This is what I like doing it for.
No, they're useful for cutting.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Totally not screenshotting that to use later.
I think this is a Command Leo cut.
I wouldn't be amazed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, did not break this time.
Cool. Blame the tick sprint.
I am going to for the time being. What happens again?
Watch me put the boxes in again and do a tick sprint and it fails.
Yeah.
I almost want to do that.
Go for it.
Where's my box?
Go for it.
Can I add an extra cobblestone box in the middle? Oops. Sprinting. Did it finish already? I don't know how fast it is. Yep. Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
I don't know.
This is like the biggest problem I have with like working on more advanced things. It's like something breaks and you're just like, I don't know.
It could have been. I'm not.
Blame
I
the
really
paste.
do not
Blame
know.
the paste.
Like,
I put like 4 boxes of cobblestone in there, so it had chance to fail.
I have tested this thing very thoroughly, so I really don't know what would have broken.
Skills.
Yeah, no, exactly. It must just be a skill issue on my part, but
No, it's skill in breaking abilities.
oh yeah.
No. It's all good. Yeah. Well, it's definitely interesting stuff. I had another like crazy temp thought, and that was like you whitelist and use it as like a branching cart whitelister or something.
Oh, to send it to different sub chunks of
So
whitelisters
like
or
first
something.
whitelist the cart into a slice, and then in the slices, it's basically like Andrew's 8 game tick thing. And so the card will just come out either empty or with another box.
Oh.
But it'd be
Wait,
like freaking massive.
what's the Andrews thing?
It'd literally just be for the speed.
What is the Andrews thing in question?
The whatever you showed us before. Like the big one.
Gigantic 8 game tick.
I see.
With in-slice pair detection.
Yeah. Okay. No. Today. Good. I was pretty close to picking stuff up there again. Yeah.
Does Carpet Creative not? Oh no, you were like on ground. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just parkouring.
Oh yeah, I saw the parkour map right next to the 8 game tick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's actually not me. I have no idea who pasted it, and frankly, I tried that. I figured it's just way too hard for me. So for now I just stick
we
to
do redstone parkour, not actual parkour.
Yeah, exactly.
Very different.
Yes. But yeah, cool stuff. I'm kind of amazed we escaped this conversation without any mentions of accessible temp.
Bro, I
That
was
is
literally
impressive,
working on
yeah.
one today, though. Damn, I mean, it can be cool, right? You can't argue with that. So,
I
what
don't
is
know.
it?
I don't. It just doesn't seem like it's that worth it, you know?
I mean, it's not bad.
It
It's
only
cool.
makes sense in a really weird case, but it's like it kind of does make sense. It's like
I don't know. My temp's accessible enough for me. It's
yeah,
like
true.
designed so you can walk up to and look in the box, like in the chests, and that's
It's
plenty.
like if you need a box, come get it.
No, exactly. Like you could theoretically slap this against a hall wall and call it good. Like that's
true.
intentional.
And it doesn't care if like a box is removed, right?
No, exactly. Yeah, it doesn't impact anything. That's the beauty of the whitelist.
Yeah.
Whereas like with BitBim's temp, you better not fucking remove a box. Like
no kidding. Like actually, see it. Whoever.
see a Pika.
When I broke it, it like it screwed over literally every whitelister chest. Like I still have no clue what I did. But like it started outputting separate items. All the cakes were gone. It was like it completely choked itself.
Oh my god. I hate cascading bugs. It's so fucking annoying.
It was the most cascade failure I've seen in a system in a long time. Boxes despawned, completely choked itself. It was, yeah, toast. But yeah.
One idea I had for a temp that's like kind of similar to the pattern concept is when you're calling a box, like you have called it from the temp, you take an item out and like it's a disk drive, but you substitute the box with its item as a placeholder instead of like a bottle or a water bucket. You use that very item, and when the box comes back, you can filter for that item, and then you basically insert the box like immediately
so it
after.
makes insertion really fast.
Exactly, but
yeah, sorting to
yeah.
find it again might be still slow.
I mean, it's a regular disk drive, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, it just doesn't really seem like there's a benefit to it because, of course, the concern in terms of speed is when you get the partial and not how quickly you put it back in. But yeah.
Could that help you know it though? That's an interesting concept.
I mean, if you can increase the speed that you can put partials into slices, that can be helpful. The problem is with disk drives is that you still need to move the entire cache from the cache point, like all the boxes that were cached, back into the slice, and that's kind of like a fixed speed operation.
Yeah.
And that's why like lowering down the categories to 10 game ticks in the Matrix was such a good like optimization.
Yeah, exactly. But like, yeah, it's just I don't know. Temps are so fucking. It seems like such a simple thing to do, and then you try and make one, and you're like, oh, that's actually like this is kind of annoying.
Well, yeah, I was kind of ranting about this in one of my first rant YouTube videos. That I think that temps are conceptually what do the most item sorting in a var sorting system.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing else cares about the item type.
Like merging just matches it, and it's completely scalable. Splitting just groups items together. It doesn't really sort per se, but the temp has to actually match many different boxes together. And like that's a much more harder problem to solve.
I feel like though the definition with like what you consider sorting and what you don't, it gets a bit vague.
Whose temp is this now?
This is a silly thing I did a long time ago. It's a non-encoded disk drive.
You want to label it with a sign?
Yeah, I can label it.
Oh, that's a different one. But how does this work?
Very stupidly. It basically just like does like a weird semi-encoding process to figure out what slot it is, and then uses like timing to cycle to that slot.
Oh, actual disk drive. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, do you mean like built-in encoder? Outright? How does
Yeah,
it
in the back, there's like an in-house encoding process.
Where do you store the bottles? Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
You need a water bucket compacting.
I do. Yeah, I thought about it, but like, I'm never gonna use this because it's just worse than what I currently have in every way.
No, it's just it was cool how Monica even got like water bucket compacting in hers.
Yeah, it was really cool though.
Monica's disk drive is terrifyingly small.
Yes.
It just scares me.
But that thing
How does
scares
this?
me.
Is this like moronic encoder though? How does this?
Kind
work
of.
this?
A little bit, yeah. If you look in the dispenser, there's a whole bunch of boxes that have like the items in it that you're searching for.
I'm having a skill issue. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I see.
Yeah. And so there's a disk in the beginning that selects the slice, and then the position after the disk tells you where in the slice the item is.
I think I've actually, I think I've seen a Chinese design that also does that.
It's not. It's a terrible, terrible way to do it because it's so slow.
Okay.
But it was kind of fun to design.
Thoughts on box signal strength actually, because let's say you like manage it with the amount of each item you put in and the amount of placeholders. So within a certain range, you could get the box itself to output its signal strength, right?
Yeah.
And then so.
Well, I thought about doing that. The problem is that you end up limiting the number of items you can store in each box, because of the signal strength requirement.
What's the signal strength about? I'm lost.
So it's like right now in that I'm using disks to indicate which slice based on signal strength. So I have a disk that gets red coded and unlocks one of the chests.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then, but the thing is, you can technically do the same thing with just a box by setting the box's signal strength to a certain amount and use that as the red coded input rather than the disk. Right, so you can set the box's default signal strength like 8 or 9, and then use that.
Wait, how does it select the amount though?
Like how far into the chest it goes?
Yeah.
It cycles through the box until it finds the matching item.
Oh, what?
So like if you look in the boxes, the items are ordered. And so what it does is it pulls every single item out of the box until it finds the matching one.
That's crazy.
I mean, it makes the timing really easy for unencoded.
Yeah, it does. So it's like, it's not really, I got into an argument with RT because he was saying it's just encoded temp with the encoders in-house. And like, he's not technically wrong, but it's also like it's time-based encoding, not an actual encoding process.
Yeah, there's no signal really. It's all time and position items.
It's like, this is getting into the meta stuff on what is and what isn't encoding, and like, I guess if you define it as just like anything that's opposed to direct sorting with filters and stuff, and the application of filters, so like a filter is box sorters, etc., then like anything is encoding, really, alignment encoding, timing, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It's different from like what we usually call encoded, right? Like this goes around it, so yeah.
I think like at some point the term encoding loses its value if we give it so many definitions, and so it's better to keep it specific, but
definitely. It's playing the disk, wait. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's how it has to work, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean the box is already in the slice, so it's like not like as slow as you would think, but it's like still not nearly as fast as an encoded one that has the okay, here's my frustration with disk drives, right? Is it takes the hardest part of the process and then offloads it to something outside of the system, and then claims it's super fast.
What do you mean?
True.
Right. So like Monica's disk drive, like theoretically has a return time of like 60 or something game ticks to like 200 odd game ticks, right? But the problem is that that's excluding the time it takes to encode the item and the effort put into encoding the item.
Oh, I guess.
But
And
that
so it's
shouldn't
like
be too
not a
long,
really
should it?
fair comparison.
I mean, I'm still
I'm
on the
being
side of
salty, but
disk drives, though. Like,
How
it's a
long is
goofy
the time on this
comparison.
disk drive?
this one's like, I think it's like 400 game ticks to 800 game
Oh.
ticks.
That's like a word.
I'll put in blue wool, and that'll be a very long cycle. Let's see, box.
So what are your guys' thoughts about like ideal splitter and then like just literally dumping everything from temp into the splitter? Like not sorting anything at all. Like
I hate it.
Yeah, me too.
I hate that idea.
because like
Obvious-
yes, it'd be inefficient, but
It would. I mean, it'd be very
I hate it
simple.
too.
Yeah. I thought about that for a while with Sigfar because I was trying to think of like a way to make
Sigfar was
single
really quite
slice
slow with
Sigfar
that though.
and just have the temp, like just have like a temp attached to it.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yes. By
Like
the way,
at
are
the
people still
very
recording
least.
this?
That's a funny question.
Was this recorded at all? Like
Uh,
earlier?
I know Pika said he was going to try to. Okay, I'll
Oh.
do this. Yes. All the ramblings.
Yes.
that's gonna be so useful.
This thing still works shockingly. Cool.
Yeah.
So
It's
for
things
the
like
ideal-
this though that are like one of my problems with like building up the motivation to actually build stuff. It's like because you build stuff, then it's like clearly worse than other people's, and it's like
Yep.
just feels bad.
No, it does. And like, I mean, I built this because it sounded like a really cool thing, and I knew no one had done it before, which
That's
was
the thing,
enough
though. This is
motivation.
really cool.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah,
I should actually probably put this in the storage catalog archives.
Yeah, why not? But
Just
yeah,
so
that's
that
the
people
thing is
can
like
see it someday.
for me to like really stay focused on a project, it has to be because the cool factor is like exceedingly great.
Yeah, no,
Me
exactly.
personally.
Otherwise, it's just not worth it. Thanks, Lukim, by the way. I think for me, I was thinking about doing this encoding for a non-encoded remote bulk
Ah,
to like find the slice and
bro.
unlock it. But it'd be like, I feel like one of the benefits of non-encoded remote bulks, as I've thought about it, is actually that you can just use box orders to parallelize the whole thing. And so I would rather use that. But like if you are, say, like an unnamed raccoon in the chat currently who does not like box orders, that is one way you could do it.
Right. No, this is just motivating me to make a parallelized encoded bulk.
Yes.
I actually really like Cybot's design now that I think about it, because like, yeah, it's so simple and like it isn't game text basically.
For what exactly? A temp?
For his temp.
Yeah, like where you just
Stuff.
like because you already have slices
bruh.
for each of the bulk.
Yeah.
You just add a little bit of
It's
complexity
more
at
like
the
it's a
top. and then-
box order that's also a temp, and it just redirects the partials into the temp portion,
Well,
which is cool.
Yes, I see the version.
Because
Goofy.
like one of the biggest things about temp is like you want it small as like an individual thing, or it's like a bunch of slices for each item. But like theoretically, the bulk already has a bunch of slices for each item.
Yeah.
So it's like just add a few blocks onto there, and then it's like cool.
Yeah. The problem is
Except
you like
for
I
remote
think
or something. Yeah.
the thing that I was recently thinking about, like var sorting. I was explaining it to somebody, and I realized like the thing that makes var sorting really useful in a lot of situations is that it takes the like right now in non var there's like filtered storages. You have the storage and the filtering of the items right next to one another. And the thing that var sorting does that's really cool is that it splits those two things apart, and so you can do a whole bunch of shit in between.
That's all it is.
Right?
Yeah.
So you sort the items, and then you do all the things you want to do, and then you store the items. And so,
Like compacting, or
yeah, compacting is one option, or like you can organize them, you can whitelist them, you can like. There's a whole bunch of shit you can do, like, especially like box MIS is like my favorite example, right? Of like all the things that you can do. And so you have all this like this extra room to play where you have like indefinite possibilities, and that kind of goes away with the a little bit at least with the Zybot stuff, because you're once again like sorting and doing the temp sorting like or the var sorting like next to one another, you know. But it doesn't actually impact it that much. It's just like a conceptual irritation of mine as a sick var boy.
Yeah.
I feel like there are probably more disk drives than any other type of temp.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's by far like the most iterated on concept.
Well, it's like really cool for being so compact.
Yeah.
And I don't know that anyone really published like a study per se on like, is this too slow or is this not fast enough? Like,
Pat Knight, pretty sure, has done quite a bit of the writing on that topic in the temp thread in ST1.
Like, what made them decide it was too slow or too fast?
Yeah, I mean, just a lot like on the speed, like the theoretical max speeds, what that maps onto. There's a whole bunch of stuff in that thread that still goes over my head.
I never found that exact point in the conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, I can try and find it. I guess I don't think they ever said like specifically. I mean, they have said it's too slow a handful of times, but I mean every temp besides like the item rams are too slow at this point. So and that is why I think SICVAR will always have a future.
I don't know. The more I think about SICVAR, though, the more I think about probably. But the more I think about having it not cycle through all the slices, like use it more like a splitter, but have like 3 boxes in each slice or something.